Coming up, we'll take a look at a new bar in Syracuse that aims to be all-inclusive in its patrons and its events.
Now, from the EMC studio at Onondaga Community College, this is OnTV Update.
Good afternoon and welcome to Ontv Update. This is Friday, April 12th. I'm Tommy Valentine.
And I'm Jeremy Roach. Downtown Syracuse welcomes a new bar to the lineup of restaurants and venues.
OnTv Update's Cola Pedisano takes us there for a closer look at what Wonder Bar has to offer the locals.
In mid-March at the old Red House building located at 201 West Street, the doors opened up once again to a new queer bar called Wunderbar. Tanner Effinger is co-owner of the space and Ashley Slater is the bar manager. Both invest time and love into the space and mission.
The vision is to help to create a region where queer people and artists migrate to because of the depth of opportunity, not only for sustainable living, but also for a rich and vibrant social and cultural life.
While Tanner handles the business side, Ashley is in charge of managing the bar, from the cocktail menu and beer list to daily activities. Along with other staff members, the space itself promotes their efforts.
Not only are the different, spaces diverse, but, then that also translates into the type of crowd we want. We want to attract diversity and all different walks of people, and I think the space kind of easily does that for us.
Not only will the crowd be diverse, but the event calendar too. Isaac Betters is program assistant at Wunderbar and has seen a flood of various events.
There's a breadcrumbs produced play that's coming up. There's a experimental theater scratch project. A jazz trio is playing. Already a wide range of things and people interested in using the space.
Wunderbar is a place to express yourself, to be yourself, and to foster creative awareness. So come down, join me at the piano, and sing some blues.
Wunderbar typically has weekly dance parties and has planned a grand opening event on April 20th from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. In Syracuse, Cola Pedisano.
Wonder Bar's mission is to provide a safe, creative space for people of any race, religion, color, creed, sexual orientation, or gender. As a queer bar, it aims to be as inclusive as possible to any person who walks through its doors.
Poverty in Syracuse is a growing problem. OnTv Update's Braylon Noble shows us how Reggie Kelly is trying to combat this problem with his organization, Rise Above Poverty.
After reading a newspaper article in 2017 regarding the homelessness and poverty rate in the Syracuse City School District, Reggie Kelly decided to take action.
The article mentioned that Danford in particular had a 10% homeless rate and their poverty levels was 75%. And upon meeting with the caseworker at the school, she shared with me some of the statistics as well as some of the stories that go along with the statistics about how many of her students lack the basic necessities.
After meeting with the caseworker at Danforth School, Kelly was informed that students needed soap, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes, socks, and underwear. With this knowledge, he founded Rise Above Poverty, with the purpose to help students in the Syracuse City School District with the basic necessities. The most recent school he's helping is Delaware Academy.
Delaware has a 98% poverty rate, and during that conversation, she also shared with us that some of their students wear secondhand underwear. And upon hearing that, I just felt compelled to do something. I believe every child should go to school with dignity, and I believe, having fresh, clean underwear daily is the start of that.
By collecting socks and underwear, Rise Above Poverty is helping children with self-esteem issues and their performance in the classroom. The volunteers at Rise Above Poverty hope to be a help for struggling families.
We find that, getting the word out and letting them know that if we can assist with some of their basic personal needs, that it'll take a lot of the stress off of them.
In Syracuse, Braylon Noble, OnTv Update.
Rise Above Poverty's next event is a toiletry drive in July. They're always looking for contributions and volunteers. For more information, call 315-863-6496 or visit their website, riseabovepovertysyr.com.org. The OCC Players Club here on campus are preparing for their upcoming play. I stopped by for one of their rehearsals to see what their new production is about and how it's coming along. With a little over a month left in the semester, The OCC Players Club is quickly getting ready for their final performance of the year in early May. Director of the OCC Players, Peter Keith Slack, seems very enthusiastic about their upcoming play.
The name of the play is Picasso at the Lapangil, and it's actually a comedy by the comic Steve Martin. He's also a brilliant playwright, and this is one of his first plays. And what the play is about, it's a hypothetical meeting between Albert Einstein and Pablo Picasso. And what it does is it looks at the contributions between science and art into the 20th century.
Not only are characters based off real people, the Lapangil is the name of a real bar where the story takes place.
It takes place in 1904 in a bar called the Lapangil, which means the nimble rabbit. And this is actually a bar that is still around in Paris today.
The backstage crew plan on trying to recreate the bar to be as accurate to the real-life version. Technical director Eddie Glassford is in charge of the construction and technical work for the club's productions. He has a good idea of how to save time and effort.
So this type of construction leaves completely modular. These two here actually we're reusing from last year, and the third one we're building for this year we can reuse for future productions.
Here in the storage room, this is where all these pieces of wood are being kept that are going to be used to build their set. And as for props, they're going to use real wine bottles and corks to decorate their bar.
Keith Slack also believes this play will keep the audience guessing.
We recreate the Lapangil. We recreate not only the sets, but we'll create the feeling.
The OCC Players hope to attract people from many different areas to help them promote their program. The OCC Players will be performing on Friday, May 3rd at 11:30 and 8 p.m., followed by two more performances on Saturday, May 4th at 2 and 8 p.m. Tickets are $10 for adults, $8 for any OCC student, and $5 for children 12 and under.
Coming up on OnTV Update, we take a look at the spring events available at Beaver Lake with the turn of warmer temperatures.
But first, the spring warm-up is not without its downsides. We take a look at how causes of spring flooding and ways to protect it. We'll be right back on OnTV Update.
My favorite class to teach is probably the writing scripts. I enjoy working with students on creative writing, and though I enjoy all the classes that I teach, to be honest, there's an energy that creative endeavors like writing scripts allows you to have. That energy just kind of bubbles through the whole term, and so it makes it a lot of fun.
Kappa is the honor society for two-year colleges. Well, I was first appointed by the president to be the Phi Theta Kappa advisor, and I think that I've stuck with it so long because I see that it really does make a difference in students' lives. My role as a Phi Theta Kappa advisor gives me a unique opportunity to form close relationships with students and really see them grow. Come to OCC with an open mind, come here, work hard, and make it happen.
Living on campus is a lot more convenient than living at home because everything I do is on campus, so I can just easily go to places I need, whether it be advising, whether it be getting tutored. Everything's just like within just slight reach. You get a lot of help here. All of the professors I've ever had have been really, really great, really involved, and guide you in the right direction on what you want to do. And it also just lets me get into the whole community aspect of college. That's really important.
Passion for cooking, then sharpen your culinary talents with a degree in hospitality management from Onondaga Community College. You'll take courses in our new state-of-the-art kitchen that prepare you to be creative and enhance your culinary skills while learning how to take charge of a professional kitchen. Apply now at sunyocc.edu to start your career in hospitality.
I knew I wanted to go to a community college just because it saves money. It's not like a high school classroom. Favorite part of my classes would be the hands-on experiences. You can go into a lab and watch it happen. It's not just ink blots on a page. It's in motion. The faculty is great. They really care about the students. The majority of my professors, they're very patient, fairly understanding. I would highly recommend OCC. I would say go for it.
Welcome back to OnTV Update. I'm Tommy Valentine.
And I'm Jeremy Roach. It seems like spring has finally sprung. The birds are chirping and trees are budding.
But you know what they say about April showers. Cody Woodard is here with our weather update. Cody, what should we expect coming up?
It certainly looks like spring is on its way, Tommy. According to AccuWeather.com, we are going to have one of the warmest weeks yet. Today, we will have a high of 67 with a low of 49 degrees with a chance of some accompanying rain throughout the day. But by looking at your 5-day planner, you can see that this trend continues into next week, starting off this weekend on Saturday with a high of 60 and a low of 39, and Sunday with a high of 52 and a low of 41, with both days having constant clouds that could turn into rain later in the day. Now looking at Monday with a high of 51 and a low of 33 with the accompanying rain early in the day, but the clouds break on Tuesday with a high of 51 and a low of 35. It is expected to be sunny with some clouds throughout the day. This carries over to Wednesday, with it being mostly sunny with a high of 59 and a low of 43. The arrival of warmer weather is considered a relief by many, considering how cold central New York often is. However, every action in nature has a reaction, so with the warmer weather comes an increase in flooding. Here is how spring weather can bring spring flooding and how to prepare properly.
Well, the concept of spring being nothing but fun and sun for most, in a place like central New York where snow is second nature, there is a constant threat that is putting not only structures at risk but local homeowners as well, in the form of spring flooding. OCC's natural disaster professor, Kelvin Prothero, gives more insight as to what spring flooding actually is.
When you have a combination of winter thaw, when the snows and ice from the winter months is beginning to melt, and you begin to get precipitation from rain events. And the two of them together flow into streams and can cause some streams to go into flood stage.
And given that central New York's average for yearly snowfall has been over 10 feet according to the National Weather Service, a large amount of water ends up in local streams and ravines, something in which I learned after talking to local homeowner Chris McKay.
Probably about 3-4 feet of snow outside, and then the weather turned warm and it melted fast, and it just melted faster than it could drain out of the ground. So it came into my basement.
However, a flooded basement is not all one has to worry about when dealing with spring flooding. There are other elements to be considered as well.
Rocks like these are the natural components that lay within the soil, easily broke apart due to the natural passage of time and the continuing weathering, making whatever built upon these soil components to be highly unstable.
Due to the water-altering work done in places like the local locks, an increased amount of water flow accelerates the rate of erosion, placing the structures built on these surfaces in danger of flooding. However, all is not lost in trying to prevent spring flooding.
The big primary cause of it today is human intervention. We have engineered and over-engineered a lot of the floodplains in urban areas. We can re-engineer and affect the spring flooding. We simply, in areas where we have urban areas right up to the streams and the creeks, remove them, turn them into parklands, turn them into picnic grounds. We don't have any structure, so that when the streams do go in the flood, they're not impacting human structures.
Avoiding the over-engineering of structures in local areas is the best way to prevent spring flooding from happening, and the best way to prevent structure damage and the loss of human life.
Professor Prothero encourages new builders to check their local flood maps to avoid building on local floodplains. A detailed map of New York State's flood elevation maps can be found at dec.ny.gov/lands. Back to you, Jeremy.
It's finally starting to look like spring here in central New York, and for those New Yorkers coming out of hibernation, there are plenty of places to get out and enjoy the warm weather. Photojournalist Sarah Hutman shows what spring looks like at Beaver Lake Nature Center as they are putting away the snowshoes and taking out the canoes.
As we transition out of our winter season, which primarily is for cross-country skiing and snowshoeing, we get into nature walks, and when the trees start to bloom and the birds start coming back, we start bringing groups in here. One of our larger events is during spring break, when we get a lot of families and kids that are out here.
I'm always most impressed with is just how quickly the leaves do pop out.
You can be walking down the trails and you can see the lake through the open trees because none of them have leaves yet, or the shrubs. And then within 2 weeks, everything is just so green. And by that time, most of the migrating birds are back.
If you walk out the front door right now, you'll hear a real harbinger of spring called the phoebe. It's a flycatcher. It gets its name from its call. Phoebe! Sounds like that, and I heard them the first time last Friday. That means there's insects in the air for them to eat. Spring is coming.
Just the beauty of the place. It's quiet, it's serene. You see wildlife out here. If you want to come here and just enjoy a really nice place to spend some time, this is one of the best places I could recommend.
It's a way to get away from the stress of your daily life and reconnect with nature in a peaceful, quiet environment. There's so many habitats and genuine beauty packed into one small place.
The park commissioner says the great experience of Beaver Lake wouldn't be possible without their many devoted volunteer workers. And with a full season of events coming up, they're always looking for more nature lovers to help volunteer. Coming up on OnTV Update, we take a look at a new Syracuse baseball team.
See what they have planned for the season and one-star football player that made his way to the Diamond. All that and more after the break.
Because we're a two-year school, you're going to play right away. As a freshman, you're going to get pretty good parts, and as a sophomore, you're going to have all the best stuff. We have a lot of non-majors involved, and they can play in ensembles, they can take lessons, they can take music classes. They really could do all the music major things. There are no barriers to that. We have great equipment, we have great facilities. It's a lot of fun to be here. There's a lot of energy, and we do a lot of performing, which makes everybody kind of energetic and working towards those goals together, and it makes it a lot of fun.
I really enjoy the potential to work closely with students. Oftentimes we're fortunate enough to have small classes. Typically we do a lot of class discussions, we do a lot of exercises that deal with student writing. I try to get the students to interact with each other. I think there's a pretty good balance between students working on their writing and sharing thoughts about writing. Yeah, I think OCC is a strong consideration for any student.
We offer a variety of experiences, and the idea is that you're still learning to play your instrument, but you're learning to express it in different formats. We have a lot of opportunities for students to play and learn about different ways to use their instrument to make music. We have a variety of concerts and events. We bring in alumni, but also our students perform, and they get to have those experiences. And it really is a chance to shine quickly.
What I like about the dorms is how social it is and the community that's built around it and how we all come together to share thoughts and ideas.
Even when you think you're alone, you're not really alone because you're always going to live with somebody and they're always going to want to speak to you. And there's always a person waiting to make a new friend.
I met my friends through some common hobbies we all share, like playing video games. So I met a lot of cool people that way, and I enjoy the company of my friends.
It's a smallish community, small campus. It's nice to be able to walk everywhere. The college has tons of opportunities for help and assistance in your classes. It's great. My OAR advisor, Office of Accessibility Resources, the people there are always there to help you. They always ask, you know, how my day was so far and all that. They're really nice and helpful there. If you talk to them, they will do something for you if they can.
Welcome back to OnTV Update. I'm Joel Carlino. Syracuse Minor League Baseball has recently got a new partner club. The Syracuse Chiefs are out and the Syracuse Mets are in. I sat down with some people in the organization to see all that has really changed. Orange and blue isn't just for the Syracuse Orange in Central New York anymore. The Mets are here and there's excitement all around for their inaugural season. Community Relations Manager Kyle Fussner says with the new team comes some changes.
For some of the changes that we've seen so far, obviously the stadium's gotten a nice paint job here. We've gotten a big reaction from the fans. A lot of, we've had increase in season ticket holders, increase in sponsorship sales. So all good things for us.
The process started back in 2017 when the New York Mets bought the minor league Syracuse franchise from the Washington Nationals. But this is the first season that players from the Mets organization are playing in Syracuse. An account executive with the Syracuse Mets, Phoebe Langdon, says the hype started well before opening day.
The day we announced our name change, it was just, the buzz was booming. People are excited to have a New York team in town. People are excited to see prospects from a New York team.
Of all the new players playing in MBT Bank Stadium this year, the biggest is former Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow. He played last season in the Mets AA affiliate Binghamton.
He brings people in. He brings, baseball fans and non-baseball fans, football fans, all walks of life.
Whether you're a New York Mets fan or not, everybody can go put their Syracuse Mets gear on and go have an awesome day at NBT Bank Stadium. The team hopes that they can build a great relationship between the Mets in Queens and the Mets in Syracuse. You can catch the team in their next homestand next Friday, April 19th, as they take on the Pawtucket Red Sox at 6:35. In more local baseball news, the Lasers baseball team did not have a very good weekend as they dropped all 4 games against Finger Lakes Community College. The Lasers failed to score a single run on Saturday as they lost the first game 2-0. OCC struck out 15 times that game. And in the second game, the Lasers lost 7-0. Finger Lakes DH Tanner Cooper had 2 RBIs. The offense was a little bit better on Sunday as they lost Game 1 5-1. Lasers catcher Ty Bell went 1 for 3 with 1 RBI. The Lasers then lost Game 2 5-4. The Lasers have lost their last 8 and the record sits at 5-10. The Final Four was played out in Minneapolis, Minnesota this past week, marking the end of the men's NCAA basketball tournament. It was an action-packed Final Four on Saturday, full of great plays, some controversial calls, and 2 tightly contested matchups. The first game saw the Virginia Cavaliers take down the Auburn Tigers 63-62. Virginia's junior guard Kyle Guy was fouled on a 3-pointer in the final seconds and made all 3 free throws to give Virginia the victory. In the second game, the Texas Tech Red Raiders beat Michigan State Spartans 61-51. The game was close throughout, but the Red Raiders pulled away at the end. They were led by senior guard Matt Mooney, who tied a career-high 22 points. Finally, it all came down to Monday night, and it would be the Virginia Cavaliers raising the national championship trophy after beating Texas Tech 85-77 in overtime. The Cavaliers were led by sophomore guard DeAndre Hunter, who scored 20 of his 27 points in the second half, and hit a huge game-tying 3 that sent the game to overtime. Well, what a game it was. Now we have a resident Texas Tech fan here. How you holding up?
Joel, it was a fun game, back and forth. Really proud of how Texas Tech played in this tournament. Of course, they beat your Michigan Wolverines in the Sweet 16, so I was very impressed by them, and Virginia definitely earned that national championship.
And let's not forget that Syracuse is opening the season with the defending champions in the Carrier Dome, so there's a lot to look forward to. When we return on TV Update, Cody Woodward will be back with one final look at the weather heading into the weekend.
But first, an adjunct percussion instructor here at OCC has a little bit more on her plate than usual this semester. Find out why when we come back on TV Update.
Kappa is the honor society for 2-year colleges. Well, I was first appointed by the president to be the Phi Theta Kappa advisor, and I think that I've stuck with it so long because I see that it really does make a difference in students' lives. My role as a Phi Theta Kappa advisor gives me a unique opportunity to form close relationships with students and really see them grow. Come to OCC with an open mind, come here, work hard, and make it happen.
Living on campus is a lot more convenient than living at home because everything I do is on campus, so I can just easily go to places I need, whether it be advising, whether it be getting tutored. Everything's just like within just slight reach. You get a lot of help here. All of the professors I've ever had have been really, really great, really involved, and guide you in the right direction on what you want to do. And it also just lets me get into the whole community aspect of college. That's really important.
Have a passion for cooking, then sharpen your culinary talents with a degree in hospitality management from Onondaga Community College. You'll take courses in our new state-of-the-art kitchen that prepare you to be creative and enhance your culinary skills while learning how to take charge of a professional kitchen.
Apply now at sunyocc.edu to start your career in hospitality.
Because we're a two-year school, you're going to play right away. As a freshman, you're going to get pretty good parts, and as a sophomore, you're going to have all the best stuff. We have a lot of non-majors involved, and they can play in ensembles, they can take lessons, they can take music classes. They really could do all the music major things. There are no barriers to that. We have great equipment, we have great facilities. It's a lot of fun to be here. There's a lot of energy, and we do a lot of performing, which makes everybody kind of energetic and working towards those goals together, and it makes it a lot of fun.
I really enjoy the potential to work closely with students. Oftentimes, we're fortunate enough to have small classes. Typically, we do a lot of class discussions, we do a lot of exercises that deal with student writing. I try to get the students to interact with each other. I think there's a pretty good balance between students working on their writing and sharing thoughts about writing. Yeah, I think OCC is a strong consideration for any student.
Welcome back to OnTV Update. I'm Tommy Valentine.
And I'm Jeremy Roach. It's been another busy semester for the OCC Music Department. However, they've had to go the last couple months without their chairman of the department, Rob Bridge, who is currently on sabbatical.
Although it's never easy to fill the shoes of someone as involved as Dr. Bridge, the department was able to turn to a veteran adjunct professor to take on a much greater role this semester. Jen Vacanti has been an adjunct percussion instructor at OCC for the past 18 years. However, she's also a full-time elementary band director in the Baldwinsville School District. Fortunately, Jen is used to balancing her time in both positions.
I'm used to going straight from band rehearsal here at elementary school and then racing out there on Mondays. I've been doing that for years, and then teaching until 9 o'clock at night. And I look forward to it. I enjoy it. I just driving to OCC and thinking about what I'm going to be doing with these students and interacting with them. It's fulfilling.
One of the main responsibilities that Jen has taken on has been leading the percussion ensemble. It's a role that's been held by Rob Bridge for the past 20 years. Even though this is Jen's first year at the helm of the ensemble, students like Gio Pettygrass are still enjoying the group as much as ever.
It's been very fun and easygoing. Just overall, there hasn't been much pressure to learn the parts, and all the music we play is fun, and I think that she had a lot to do with that.
Jen also took charge of all percussion lessons this semester, but because she splits time between Baldwinsville and OCC, students are responsible for practicing more on their own and coming ready to play when she arrives. Fortunately, a state-of-the-art percussion suite makes that easy to do. For students that participate in the percussion ensemble and for those that take lessons, there's a magnetic strip programmed into their laser cards. All it takes is one swipe, and they have 24/7 access to all kinds of different percussion instruments. For Jen, it's a lot easier to take on as much as she has when you have students that not only embrace you as an instructor, but work hard for you as well.
They were very open about having me come in and just, work with them. And they love playing, which makes my job so much easier. So they've been a class act. They've been wonderful to work with.
Jen also says she's looking forward to lightening her workload next year when Rob Bridge returns. The percussion ensemble is actually performing right now in the Academic 2 Recital Hall. It will be their last performance before OCC's Day of Percussion Ensemble on April 27th. And I just might have to go over to Academic 2 after the show and catch the end of that concert. It's a very exciting group. They're very talented players over there.
Well, whenever I see you, let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
It should be a pretty good concert.
Will do.
Cody Woodard is back to let us know what this weekend's weather will be like. Cody, what should we prepare for?
Well, Jeremy, I don't really think you need to much preparation will be needed for this weekend. As starting off with today, we have what now seems like a record high at 67 with a low of 49. On Saturday, we can expect a high of 60 with a low of 39. And on Sunday, we can expect a high of 52 and a low of 41, with clouds on both of these days, with a light chance of rain as the day progresses. So if there's any yard work that needs to be done, this is the perfect opportunity to do it now that we have a break from the constant cold.
That's all the time we have today, folks. I hope you look forward to the upcoming events this spring as much as we do.
Yeah, same here, Tommy. I'll be seeing you outside, that's for sure. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next week.